Hello everyone, this is Granny Gamester here, or Gigi as everyone calls me, with another beginner's guide and tips for Conan Exiles 2024. Now I am playing on the Xbox Series S, and these guides are intended to explain the tools available in this game and how to use them. So this video is going to be about your inventory and knowledge, plus how to use your controller. So let's get started. And we're going to get into our inventory by pressing our options button on the controller. And that's going to bring up this screen. Now at the very top, we have inventory, knowledge, attributes, stats, journey, clan, followers, map, challenges, battle pass, and bazaar. Now I'm scrolling through these using my L2 and my R2. So let's go back to inventory and I'll show you what's available here. Now the first panel on the left hand side at the very top, of course, is your name. Mine, of course, is Gigi. Across from that is the level that you are at, and I am at a level 4. And the bar represents the experience points that you have already gained and how many more you need to gain the next level. Now underneath that on the left hand side is a little weight bar, and that shows you how much you are carrying compared to how much you can carry. So in this case I'm carrying 14% of what I'm able to carry. And then on the right hand side we have sorted by name, and I'm going to push down on my right joystick and that will change that to sort by heaviest and then sort by custom. Now what these means is sorting by name. Everything in your inventory here will be listed in alphabetical order. So branch, handful of insects, etc., etc. When we want to sort by custom, that's going to sort everything the way you want it to show up first in your slots. So say you want your insects to show up first. You highlight that, click on your A, move it over to the first slot where you want it, click your A again. It's going to ask you how many of those you want to show up in the first slot, and you're going to say, yeah, we want all 5. So go ahead and hit A for that, and it's moved to your first slot, and it will stay there for you. Now we're going to go to sorted by heaviest first, and this is the one that I am likely to use. And the reason for that is because when I become over encumbered, I want to see right away what is causing me the most weight in my inventory so that I can drop it and be able to run. Because once you're over encumbered, it slows you down and you can't move as well. So that's the reason I use that. Then underneath that, you'll see some little small icons. There's a sword, there's a little log, and there's a little fish. Now you need to press down on your left joystick to use these, and you also need to be in sort by name. Now this comes in handy when you come back from a large gathering session and you've got a lot in your inventory and you want to sort your armor first. So press down on your L joystick and the little sword shows up, and that will sort all your weapons first. So if you have a box that you're storing all your weapons in, you have them right up there first, and it makes it easy to just put them in your box. And then of course it gives you all your resources, and then the little fish is going to give you all your food. That can come in really, really handy. But again, you have to sort by name to use this. If I move back over to heaviest first, this does not work in that way. So down below that, you can see the name of whatever it is we are highlighting. So in this case, we're going to highlight our stone cleaver. It tells us that it's a crudely crafted cleaver. It tells us the health damage, the armor pen of it. It tells us that it is a tool and it's for butchering. Underneath that, it gives us the durability of this tool. And right now it's at 100%. I haven't used it yet. And then what it weighs. Underneath that, it gives you the option to drop it by using the Y button. And then it also gives us information about it. Now, if we hit our R1, it's going to give us info about this. So that brings up a panel that explains this to you. Now, if we choose to drop this item, which I'm going to do, this shows up as a little bag at our feet. Now you can get back into that. So if you open that up and you decide that you made a mistake dropping that, just hit your R2 and you can pick it back up and it will show back up in your inventory. Now our middle panel is all about your character. So the very first thing we see, of course, is the thirst circle, and we are 81% of 100. Then comes our health bar on the top of 200, and our stamina bar underneath that, which is at 100. Then next to that is our hunger, and we are 85% of 100. Underneath that is our armor. Now our armor is right now at 5, and we are wearing light armor. And what that 5 represents is if you scroll over to your armor and we highlight the coarse tunic, you can see on the left hand side the description of this piece of clothing. The armor value is 2 and it's considered a light clothing, so that's where you get the armor value from. 2 for the tunic, 1 for the coarse gloves, 1 for the leggings, and 1 for the foot wraps, which equals the 5. Then under that, of course, the armor is considered a light armor. And if you want to remove this, all you have to do is hit your X button, and that will put it in your inventory for you. And if you want to put them back on, you just highlight them like that and hit equip again, and it will put them back on for you. The next panel on our far right, this is going to show your craft menu. Now, if you press down on showing all, which is your R joystick, it will show everything. Showing none, that means it will show nothing. And then it will scroll through every DLC that you have. So if you only want to see the items that you can craft by these DLCs, which you can see is showing Savage Frontiers, Seekers of the Dawn. There's quite a few of them here that you can scroll through, and you can go through all of these until you get back to showing all. Then if you press down on your left joystick, you can also scroll through just the weapons that you can craft, your defense, which would include your shields and armor, and then your resources, and we can only make twine right now. This is the foods that you can make, and healing, and this is the home items that you can make. And then if you hit it one more time, it's going to bring them all back up for you. Underneath that is going to tell you what you need to craft these items. Now for twine, I'm going to need 3 plant fibers to make. Now underneath that, you can see craft, which means you want to only craft 1, you hit your A button. If you want to craft 5, you hit your Y button. And I can craft 5, but I'm not going to do that right now. Then if you want to craft 10, you hit your X button. And then to clear your cache, let's say I'm going to make, I want to make 5 of these, but I've decided that I didn't want to do that. I want to clear it. I made a mistake. I don't want to make all 5. So let's go ahead and hit Y for 5. And then if we hit our R1, that's going to clear the cache right away and stop that. So we won't make all of those because that's not what we intended to do. So that is our inventory. Next, we have knowledge. Now, this panel shows you everything that you need to learn in order to make items. Yeah, everything in the game needs to be learned unless it is here in this crafting section. These are the things that you're going to start out being able to make. You've already learned these. These, on the other hand, you're going to have to learn to make. So our first one here is our apprentice mason. And as you can see, this is in yellow. And it's going to take us 1 knowledge point. Now you can see this on the right-hand side of this panel. It says apprentice mason. You need to be a level 3, and it requires a cost of 1 knowledge point. Now you gain a knowledge point every time you gain a level. So as you can see, I'm a level 4, and I have available 3 knowledge points, and that's because I've already spent 1. Down on the bottom under survival, you can see I've already clicked the one to make a weapon or a tool, which is the down here, which is the stone tool. So I used 1 to do that. But in order to do this one, I'm going to go ahead and hit my A button. And now I have learned that. And as you can see on the right-hand side, underneath apprentice mason, it tells us that this teaches us the sandstone foundation. It teaches us the construction hammer, the repair hammer, the wall, the ceiling, the door frame, all these items this apprentice mason is going to teach us. So now we are going to be able to find these in our construction hammer and make these. Now the same goes for our decorations. Now this is not going to cost us anything to learn. You do have to be a level 1, which you are right away usually. And we can just absolutely click on that and presto, you learn it with no cost. Next we have survival. Like I said, we needed to learn this at level 1, but this again costs you nothing to make, and neither does the sealed water skin. But the box maker is going to require that we are level 3, and it's going to cost us 1 knowledge point to make. And so is the campfire. Weapons, it's the same thing. If you want to learn archer, it's not going to cost you, but you need to be a level 1. So you can go ahead and click that one. And as you can see, that popped up. It was a journey step, and we'll go over those later. But then we have our weaver, which teaches us the coarse tunic. And of course, these are already in our crafting menu. And then comes our religion. And this is where your set religion that you chose in the very beginning of the game comes into play. As you can see, it is highlighted in green, so I have already learned this. It's not going to cost me anything, and I don't have to be a certain level to make this. This is already available to me. Now, what I can do with the first set of the altar is I can make the spelcher of set. I can make the setite ritual knife, the set antidote, the set brazier, and then all these other things, which I will explain later in a religion guide. The snake arrows are included in this first religious altar, but it does not list it here. And I don't know why, but it is available to you right away. So those are our first items here. Then, if you notice on the top, we're going to take our R1 and we're going to scroll over to our little hammer here. You can see where I'm moving on the very top of the screen here. We move to our little hammer. This is going to cover all of our building. So as you can see the progression in the game, we start out as an apprentice mason at a level 3. And we can learn all these things. But as you can see, we have to advance in levels in order to learn them. So in order to learn the stairs, I need to be a level 6, and it's going to cost me 1 knowledge point to learn. The roof pieces are going to cost me, or it's going to remain locked until I'm a level 8, and it's going to cost me 1. The fences are a level 9, etc., etc. And this is the progression of the game. The Salvager is a foundation set from the Isle of Sipta DLC. So if you don't have that, you're not going to see this set there. Then we have the Journey Mason, which you can achieve at a level 20, and that's going to cost you 5. Then the Master Mason you cannot learn until you are level 30, and you have already learned the Journeyman Mason, and you have learned the Iron Pick. Now the Storm Glass, again, is another set that belongs to the Isle of Sipta. This is a gorgeous set, by the way, and it's well worth getting the Isle of Sipta DLC just for this, and this Salvager set, which is another great set, the Flotsam set for building. Even if you never play on the map, it's worth getting those. Now, all of these that you see with the little pointing green arrow down, these are DLCs. And these are all the building pieces with those DLCs. So if you're trying to decide what DLC to get based on the building pieces, it wouldn't hurt to scroll through these and see what they offer. This particular one, the Arena Vaulted Ceilings, etc., are just beautiful. And this is the Arena Mason set. And this is quite nice. You might want to consider that one as well. Then we're going to scroll over to our little jug here. And this is going to offer Torchbearer. And you can learn this at a level 7. And it's going to cost you 1 knowledge point. And again, this is going to teach you Bracketed Torch, Standing Torch, and Protected Torch. And then, of course, this is the one that we learned right away and cost us nothing. Then there's Tavern Building, which is new to the game in Chapter 3 for the Age of War. Then we have Furniture Making, which we can learn at level 14 and costs us 1. That's going to teach us all kinds of furniture. We're going to get the Artisan's Table with this, and it's going to teach you how to make a table, decorative basket, wooden bowl, etc., etc. And you can really add on to that one. Now, I did notice that I do need to drink some water here. So we're going to go into our inventory, and I am going to press X to drink until my little circle is filled to 100. And then I'm also going to eat some roasted haunch to cure my hunger. And a little tidbit about this little chest right here that you get meat from. If you leave this area and come back, it will have meat in it again. It does it right now because I haven't left the area, but do that if you need meat for some reason and you haven't made it to get some yet. Just come back to that chest if you've gone out of the screen, or after a little time has passed, and it will refill for you. So let's go back into our knowledge here. And back to our little jar to see what other things are available to us. Now, under the Furniture Maker, eventually you're going to be able to make all these things as you gain in levels. So you might want to scroll through these. These are kind of fun. And then there's our Treasure Coffer. Now, this was also introduced with the Age of War, and this is for your treasure. Now, you have to be a level 20 to be able to make this coffer, and it's going to cost you 3 knowledge points. And then we have Apprentice Taxidermist. So if you want to mount some of the heads that you've taken, you can do that. Then we have Survivalist. Now, this one covers your things to survive. This first one is teaches your sealed water skin, your torch, your bedroll, and twine. All the things that you found in your crafting section in your inventory, way over here, that you could make right away, those are going to be found there. Then there's our stone tools. You click on that, you're going to be able to make your stone pick and your stone hatchet. And again, with your apprentice butcher, you're going to be able to make your stone skinning knife and your stone cleaver. And then, of course, again, as you advance, you're going to be able to make these other benches. Now, as you can see, the progression in the game is based on your levels. The more levels you gain, the more things you're going to make, the further you will advance in the game. And then we have primitive cook. We're going to click on that because that's going to allow us to make our campfire. And then there's box maker, apprentice tinkerer, and these are all for higher levels. Down here, the thrall taker, the water well, and the orb of Nergal. Then we have our weapons. We have our armor. And this is our religions. And again, this is where we can see we already have the Acolyte of Set and all these other religions. If we want to learn them, this one is going to cost us 5. Oh, they lowered that. It used to be a lot more than that. Oh, that's because that's the second one to my set religion. I had that on. In order to learn the Acolyte of Yog, it's going to cost me 50 knowledge points, which is pretty pricey. Or you can just go out in the world and find the priest of Yog, and he can teach it to you. Then the next one is the secrets of sorcery are veiled in mystery. This is going to be your sorcery, where you'll find all the things about sorcery once you learn sorcery in the game. This is your ancestral knowledge, and this is the things that come with the base game. You will find all of those in here. And then this is search. Now, as you can see, there's a little search panel here, and if I click on that, it's going to bring this up. So if I want to, say, find water, we're going to go ahead and click done, and it's going to bring up everything that has the word kind of water in it. This one, in the case of this, has the barrels in it. This is the fireball cauldron. Now, why this came up with water, I don't know. But we have the water well, and then we have the stove, and then we have the larger water well. So that's how that works. If you want to quickly look for something, do the search for it. And that covers our inventory and knowledge. And then there's a couple of things with the controller that I'm going to show you how to use. And the first one is going to be how to move something from your inventory into your quick bar. Now, I did touch on this a little bit in the last video, but if you didn't see that, I'm going to cover it again here. Now, how you do that with a controller is, first of all, you want to highlight what you want to move into your quick bar. And in this case, I want to move my pickaxe into my quick bar. So all I do is hit my L1, which is going to bring up my quick bar. And as you can see, my stone pick is then selected. All I need to do now is use my right joystick and scroll in a circular fashion around this until I get to the slot that I want it to be put into. And in this case, we're going to put it right here. All I need to do now is let go of my L1. And there it is. It's in my quick bar. So we're going to go ahead and move our water skin. We're going to put that down here. I'll let go of my L1. And there it is. And then let's put our insects down on the bottom here. And that's how you move things from your inventory into your quick bar. Now, to put them back into your inventory, all you have to do is highlight it. Whoops, we need to get out of that. We need to get out of our inventory to do that. You want to highlight this by holding down on your L1, and that brings up your quick bar. You want to take your right joystick select that, and then you want to hit your X button. And that is going to put it back in your inventory for you. Now to draw the weapon, as you could see, all I need to do is highlight. Well, let's put this back in our quick bar. So to use the stone pick, all I need to do is use my L1 to bring up my quick bar. I need to highlight this and then let go of my L1, and I'm now using my pick. And to put it away, I just need to do the same thing, bring up my quick bar using my L1 and then highlight it with my right joystick and then let go, and voila, I have put it away. Now, some of the other things on your controller are pretty self-explanatory when you go through the game, because again, on your right-hand side, you can see your buttons that will tell you or instructions on what buttons to use, like toggle sprint. You push down on your L. So that means, you know, if you want to run, you press down on L1 or your left joystick, and that will toggle your sprint. If you want to jump or climb, you hit your A button and interact, which means if you want to use anything, you're going to use your square button, etc. And then shortcuts are your L1, which is your quick bar. Now, the other area on your controller that you're going to be interested in is your directional pad. Now, your directional pad is the up and down, right and left that you will see situated right between your left joystick and your right joystick. So we're going to check out what happens if you hit the up button. That puts you into first person. If you hit on your left directional, that's going to bring up your quick bar for your bazaar, your battle pass, your challenges, or your journey feeds. So if I want to bring up the challenges that are available to me in the battle pass, all I need to do is highlight that and then click on it, and that's going to bring that up for me. Now, if I hit the down button or directional on the directional pad, that's going to bring up my emotes. Now, what emotes do is give your character instructions on what you want them to do, an animation that you want them to do. So let's make our character sit. I use my right joystick to select this, and then I just click on A to select it, and my char will sit down. Now, if I want to take her out of that animation, I just push down on it again and hit stop emoting, and she will stop. Now, throughout the game, you will learn new emotes. So these are pretty cool. Now, some of these have multiple categories within it. So if we click on greeting, you'll see we have a few different kinds of greetings. Now we can do a bow. So let's go ahead and highlight that and click on our A, and I'll bow. And that's how you use that. Now, the right-hand side of your directional pad will bring up your map, which is very, very handy. And as you can see, you also are able to scroll through your inventory by using that button as well. So I think I've just about covered it all, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned some little tidbits from this. And if you did, give me that big old like. And if you would like to see more, just stay tuned. And if you hit that little bell, you'll be notified when I post my next video. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, GG out.